I want to go back to Grenada to teach the Cubans how to fight. They let America take over, complaining about Reagan's might.
The following is part 2 of a 5-part series of a somewhat comprehensive historical account of the events which constituted the collapse of the Grenada Revolution, March 13th, 1979 to October 19th, 1983. Please be advised that the following is taken from Chapter 11 of my still-to-be-published account of the history of Grenada titled, This is My Island. Maurice Bishop placed under house arrest. It seemed to have started with a violent disagreement and split in the ranks of the Politburo and Central Committee, with Orel members seemingly having the greatest say. The army moved on the side which Bernard Cord was said to be the leader of in the power struggle with Bishop. On the evening of Wednesday, October 12, 1983, the Prime Minister was placed under house arrest. Foot soldiers like Selwyn Strawn, the PRG's mobilization minister, was seen moving from workplace to workplace in St. George's, telling workers that Bernard Cord had taken over as Prime Minister since Bishop was no longer capable of running the government. The response was that of rejection and spontaneous shouts, "We don't want Cord." Bishop was accused of not being a true revolutionary, and Grenadians were reminded that the army would tolerate absolutely no manifestation of counter-revolutionary activities. Bishop's house arrest was for 6 days at his official residence at Mount Welldale, with a commanding view of the city and surroundings. Sadness coupled with confusion ruled the minds of Bishop's supporters. It was to them, as one man put it, changing the chief without informing the tribe. People, for the most part, were prepared for anything except to agree to have Bernard Cord replace Maurice Bishop. Since the revolution was perceived to be irreversible, people were prepared to settle for Bishop, whom they considered the lesser of two evils when compared to Cord. They therefore took to the streets and demonstrated in their numbers. A source close to what is now regarded as reformed RMC elements is recorded as having said that during Bishop's incarceration, efforts were made to keep him as far as possible from the resident Cuban ambassador Julian Rizzo. A coming together of both could have sparked a decisive response from Cubans who may have acted similarly as they did in the Angolan conflict. The worst could have happened since the Cuban construction workers at Point Salines were generally believed to be men from the front line in Angola who were using this airport construction assignment to reorient themselves before returning to Cuba. The fervor with which opposition to the thought of Bernard Cord assuming leadership of Grenada was received forced him, Bernard Cord, to resign from the position of Minister of Finance and Trade. An additional reason given related to the rumor that he and his wife were plotting to kill Maurice Bishop, which he termed a vicious lie. An announcement came on Radio Free Grenada, the official mouthpiece of the People's Revolutionary Government, that following the announcement of the resignation of the Minister of Finance, that Mr. Nazim Burke, a young, bright economist, had been appointed Minister of Finance. More speculation mounted as things became even more unclear. Join us again tomorrow, God willing, for part 3 of a 5-part series of a somewhat comprehensive historical account of the events which constituted the collapse of the Grenada March 13th, 1979 to October 19th, 1983 revolution. Please be advised that the foregoing was taken from Chapter 11 of my still-to-be-published account of the history of Grenada titled, This is My Island. You're invited to join me as I seek to bring valuable information to you regarding this important part of our pedestrian history.
I want to go back to Grenada to teach the Cubans how to fight. They